You doing?
Humboldt County, California, right? This is up in the pot capital of California.
Yeah, pot capital. A lot of hunters in this area. A lot of people with guns that are just protecting their crop.
In the last episode, you were talking about genetics. You know, and in past episodes, we've talked about Philip Seymour Hoffman and him having troubles with drugs. I mean, that's related to genetics, right? People having the predisposition to be addicted to certain substances.
Now, do you have a predisposition to be addicted to certain substances?
Certainly.
Like what?
High heels, short skirts, large breasts, things like that. I have a predisposition.
Yeah, but can't you shop for any other clothes? Oh, you're talking about women. So okay, but about
I'm talking about in particular. You know, heroin coming into this country. You know, coming into this country from the Middle East, and you know, this is kind of a backdoor way for a quiet terrorism. What's your comment on that?
Okay, so you're saying the proliferation of hardcore drugs like heroin is kind of like it's kind of screwing up our society. It's not bombing our buildings, but it's devastating our quality of living to some degree.
It's definitely just destroying our quality of living. And what's happening now is so much of that is coming in from the Middle East that the price of heroin is dropping, drastically dropping, and they're poisoning this stuff.
So how much do you pay for your heroin now, or do you take heroin?
Well, it's only what I've heard in the news, and I don't know what the price of heroin is on the street. I'm sure you could find out.
You know what? I think, like I was saying before about genetics, I think everything is going to be solved by genetic engineering in the future. For example, you had said previously in this very discussion that some people have a predisposition for being addicted, and I assume you mean to different drugs,
or whatever it is, but just in particular drugs,
or gambling or whatever. But let's just take drugs for example. So people are, what would you say they're doing? They're basically they're medicating themselves. They're self-medicating.
Well, yeah, absolutely, they're self-medicating, and I'm just pointing out that terrorism doesn't come in all forms.
Well, but we're talking about how to combat that. And I don't think they're doing a hell of a job combating that.
I don't think they are either.
So what could science do to combat that? And what I'm trying to get at is, okay, so people that take drugs are self-medicating, but what are they self-medicating? What do you think somebody that takes heroin...
Psychological and or addictive personality of some sort.
I know, but what are the symptoms? Why are you taking heroin? Because you feel great, and so you want to take heroin to feel even better, or you're not feeling good and you want to take heroin?
Either way.
So you think
you might feel bad and want to feel good, and you might feel good and want to feel even better.
But, okay, and then so once you take it, you're addicted.
And, he'd probably been taking heroin for quite a while. I'm sure they've reported that. And, he didn't realize that there was something else in the heroin, and that actually ended his life.
Oh, what? Oh, so there was some poison within the heroin that killed him?
Right.
Oh, I haven't been keeping up with the story. So, but okay, but everybody feels bad. I mean, but why take heroin? I mean, see, the thing about with addictive drugs is, and Bigfoot can back me up on this, is that I've always heard that you take it one time, going back to the 6th grade or something like that, when they give you, information on drugs in your classes.
You take it one time and you're addicted for life.
Yeah, and that's enough for me to say, I would never want to do that.
Is that like a cheeseburger? You eat it one time and you're addicted for life?
Well, what cheeseburgers are you talking about?
I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things. Like if you drink a Coke, all of a sudden now you're addicted for life.
That's interesting about Cokes. I think I have a cola addiction.
And that very well could be related. That's almost like a heroin addiction.
Because I just have like pangs of I need a cola. I don't know if it's
now,
because...
Is that affecting you visually, or is that just stimulating you?
How would it affect me visually?
Well, just the barrage of Coca-Cola ads showing that life is better with Coke.
No. I think it's
snorted or drinking.
There's something to do with. There's several things. There's something to do with the
chemical
coldness,
reaction,
the coldness of it. And then you can say, well, why don't you just drink cold water? So there's something beyond the coldness of it. Because I prefer cold
flavor. Right?
I prefer cold Cokes or colas to just neutral warm temperature ones. So I always have to cool.
So you probably feel bad for Bigfoot because he's not getting Coke out there. It's pure water, and it's probably poison water at that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some Bigfoot had actually found one that was unopened or whatever. Maybe someone's fed it that. Okay,
possibility.
So another factor is the carbonation. I love that. Beyond that, I always drink them with that have caffeine, but I even like them without caffeine. So I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I do feel and I kind of wonder.
So it does make you feel better. Coke is better with life.
Well,
life is better with
caffeine
Coke.
is a mood stimulant. There's no doubt about it. Just like alcohol is a depressant, and that's the ironic thing is people take alcohol to feel better, but it's actually a depressant. But we still didn't get around to Brian Sykes. I want to talk about Brian Sykes as related to Bigfoot and to genetics in general.
I thought that's what this was all about.
Well, it turned out to be about Coke. You got off topic because I was trying to talk about Brian Sykes related to Bigfoot, and you said I want to talk about Coke addictions and
heroin
and Philip Seymour Hoffman
and terrorism.